Hi everyone, thanks for making the left turn and welcome back to the Jacksonville Left channel and another episode of Eye on the Jacksonville City Council. As you can see, normally on Eye on the Jacksonville City Council, you don't see me on camera. You see the slide and you see the agenda. Well, this will probably be a clue to you that something different is happening here on the Jacksonville Left channel. And I'm excited about it, and we're going to talk about that in just a moment or two. I will talk about the agenda for the upcoming July 22nd City Council meeting, but Eye on the Jacksonville City Council will be changing, and I'll be discussing that later. First of all, I'd like to look mostly at the public hearings, because there's a lot of interesting stuff on there. I'll talk about in one area of the public hearing list, they're talking about repealing the annual ethics training for city council people. I think that's kind of a bad idea. I think that you really can't have too much training on something that critical and important. And we don't want our city council people making mistakes with state and city laws and doing things that they may honestly make a mistake and do something that's improper. So I don't know what's all behind that. That'll be kind of interesting to see. Also, one thing I've noticed also is that they do have they have an ethics ordinance that they're also considering, so that's on there as well. One thing I've noticed is we've been kind of going on and back and forth on this on the signs ordinance, and I've been talking a lot about it on the series, and it's in public hearing, and I was going over the history of it. This ordinance has been in existence and drafting for around a year. And I'm thinking to myself, why on earth is it taking these people a year to get something like this together? And it indicates to me that there's some things that are kind of wrong. It seems like a lot of energy and time is being spent on something, and I don't think it really necessarily benefits the average person. I guess if you own a sign, I'm sure you're very interested if your business owns a sign and you're concerned about that. And it goes to show that in a lot of ways the council is merely a player along with lobbyists and businesses. It doesn't seem like they're even really on any sort of viable timetable. Is this really even a critical piece of legislation after a year? I don't know, but you'll get a chance to talk about it this coming Tuesday. Also, I'm seeing that they've gone through, there's some appropriations that are up for discussion, including $1 million, $800,000 from the Downtown Development Fund, $200,000 from the General Fund for management of Hemming Plaza. And so it's going to be kind of interesting what all is done with Hemming Plaza. There's been a commitment to try to, I guess, clean up Hemming Plaza, make it more safer, I guess you could say, or more relaxing for people to go downtown, enjoy the park. And I'd like to see certainly some amenities improvements. And I think it's always a good idea to try to have some events. But the question also is, ultimately, will this have a beneficial effect for downtown? And I think that still remains to be seen. Ultimately, there has to be the issue dealt with of panhandling and people that are just behaving inappropriately. And I've been to parks throughout the country. New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Orlando, Miami, different places. And I just haven't run into as much panhandling as I do going around Jacksonville. And I think that sometimes there's a myopia that happens. I just yesterday filmed in Confederate Park and in Clutha Park, just north of downtown. And it's in serious need of work. And I just wonder if there are some real cost-effective ways to fix Hemming Plaza, and then we have money for elsewhere. I understand it's important. It's right there in front of the library. It's right there in front of City Hall. We have office workers. We have people out enjoying things. No one wants to be accosted. But I think sometimes, too, we have to look at what's going on. and I just hope that this money is wisely spent. And hopefully there'll be some events that will encourage people to go downtown, enjoy what's out there. So that's where we're at. They're getting ready to start getting the machinations together, start levying taxes. The council will start looking at the budget. We got Clay Yarborough as the new council president. So it's going to be interesting to see what his leadership is. I'm now going to go ahead and we're going to segue into where Eye on the Jacksonville City Council goes from here. And really, we're talking ultimately, too, about where the Jax Left channel goes from here. We always have History Jacksonville on the Jax Left channel. We've got a great special planned ahead of History Jacksonville. And I want to start getting back into talking about some of the politics in Jacksonville. We have the budget season coming up with my annual review of the mayor's proposed budget that will be coming up over the next several weeks. Also, I am going to be starting to look at the different campaigns and all the different movers and shakers and where things are going. But what I'm looking at right now with Eye on the Jacksonville City Council is the fact that, effective with today's episode, this will be the last standalone episode of Eye on the Jacksonville City Council. You will start every 2 weeks seeing the Jax Left Report, which is one of the initial series that I created here on the channel. The Jax Left Report will be a potpourri, if you will, of Jacksonville politics. It will also include the segment Eye on the Jacksonville City Council. We'll talk about the different personalities. We're going to talk about the mayor. We're going to talk about the folks on the council. We are going to talk about what's on the agenda, but what I've increasingly found, and I think there are two issues that have kind of highlighted the fact that we need to make a change. And this is part of the Jax Left channel being even better. What I look at is that I think that the average Jax Left channel viewer, be they age 8 or 80, you out there, anywhere in between, of course, is an informed consumer of Jacksonville politics and government and history. And I think that by merely talking about the agenda, given the fact that I sometimes think that the agenda is not reflective of what we should have as a people's agenda for the city, I think that is not exactly the approach that I think will be the most effective for you getting the information, me providing it to you. I can sit here and I can read the laundry list and I can have my commentary and talk about it. But I think that there's another way to go about this, and I think that is a way of doing it. And I've seen this also in the numbers, and I very rarely talk about numbers on the channel. But I have my own, what you might call the Nielsen ratings for what I do here on the Jax Left channel, kind of like television. And I'm just not seeing the popularity. And when I say popularity, I mean just I equate popularity on a video as being 10 views, which is not that many at any point 10 views, whether it's a day or a month. And I have looked at the trends, the trend of Eye on the Jacksonville City Council, and I just don't see that it has the popularity that other series that I have on the Left Turn Network throughout has. So with some disappointment, not going to lie, some disappointment, I am announcing that, as you know, that we are going to go ahead and bring this back from being it was a segment to a series. We're going to bring it back to being a segment, and you're going to start to see more general news reports, kind of like the Farrar Report over on the other channel, where we can actually, I'll talk a little bit more free form, and I think that this will provide the best possible information and the best possible commentary in more of a relaxed format. And it will also be kind of on a day, I think, that people can really enjoy, and also give you a little bit of advanced warning. My eyes will remain on the Jackson City Council, but as of today, the series will fold into the Jax Left Report, so keep an eye out for the Jax Left Report over the next several weeks. And I want to thank you, though, who have regularly watched. I know that there are regular viewers, and I hope that this isn't too much of a change for you. But I do know that we want to provide the best possible coverage. This is a progressive public affairs channel for the people of Jacksonville. And things will change down the road. This has been going on now for over a year, at least specific to this channel, several years over on the other channel. And so my commitment remains. And, you know, I like to think of, I guess, the way Thomas Edison might look at it. There's a better way to do it. Let's find it. And that's what this effort has always been here on the Jack Swift channel. So the Jack Swift project continues. A lot of great stuff's ahead. The best is yet to come. I'm really optimistic. And I want you to please hang on as we start to re-gear, refocus, and we get ready for the intense coverage that's coming down the road in Jacksonville politics. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. See you later.